what's going on with my curls. I'm just going to let them be today. What? Good morning. It's Friday. I'm doing a Friday dance. That's the best I can give you. Good morning. Busy weekend with family. Yeah, I have a bag that I need to finish testing tomorrow, and I have a lot of things I'm supposed to film that I didn't get to have a chance to this weekend because of the migraine that never wanted to end. It's still like an echo, but I'm in a way better mood than I was yesterday, definitely before the day before yesterday. But I did injure myself cutting yesterday. Monica, seen I was like sewing, so I made like a makeshift band-aid out of twill tape. Like I wiped it down with alcohol around the wound, and then I put antibiotic cream, and then I put some twill tape and made a band-aid out of it. Yeah, I think it's because when I'm like, it's something that I have to tell myself and I tell other people, but it's like do as I say, not as I do scenario. If you don't feel good, don't sew. Don't even cut out a pattern. Don't do anything because you can injure yourself and ruin the project, and or injure yourself where you have to get stitches. And I'm quite certain that I need stitches, and I'm in that window where I have like an hour or 2 hours left before they're like, oh, you can't do the stitches. So yeah, I was cutting, and next thing I knew, right into my fingers, and it's like a perfect V, and I was like, oh dear. It because I'm not feeling good, so I'm not like hyper focused like I'm usually am. Yeah, I take medicine. My neurologist and my ENT work together, so I take a pretty strong nerve medicine called gabapentin. When I get migraines, it starts shooting down into my neck, into my shoulders, and it locks up. So like my nerves get like super inflamed around my head, my neck, the back of my ears. Like I can't move. So I have a preventative medicine that I take every single day at night, and then to help with anxiety and headaches, there's one that I take called Northimpramine that I take once a day too. I have emergency medicine that is the most confusing medicine that you've ever. It's called Somnutrin. So Somnutrin's an interesting medicine. It can usually take a 10 migraine and take it to a 5 within 30 minutes. However, if it doesn't reduce it, you take another one and then it should be good. You could take, this is exactly what it says on the prescription bottle. You could take once a day, but only take 2 within a 5-day period. That's so I try not to take those because the the prescription is completely, then you understand, Amy. You're on the same meds as me. We're on some serious meds for our migraines. I've been diagnosed with migraines since I was like 19, but it took until late 20s before they were able to figure out something where I was functional, because I would have more migraines than good days. I'm one of those people that usually can function through a migraine, but if it comes on strong and I wasn't able to catch it, there's nothing I can do. So this one that I had this week is not even the worst one I've ever had. Yeah, Kendall keeps on telling me to get the cutting gloves because he's like, even when I'm cutting with the rotor, he's like, it's just so close to your hand. And he's like, you're not a person that will yell out, ouch. You just will be like, oh yeah, I'm bleeding. Let me take care of this. But I try to explain to him because of my migraines, I think I have a higher threshold for pain and tolerance for pain and being calm because my headaches get set off for like the most stupid reasons, like weather pressure or um if I eat too much chocolate. I know I'm not a huge chocolate fan, but like if you give me chocolate covered raisins, I will eat those like you have never seen someone eat. You would think I was starving by the time I annihilate them. But then because my body's not used to it, it will trigger a headache. If I I'm a coffee drinker, I've always been a coffee drinker. My dad's a coffee drinker. I love Folgers all the way to some bougie coffees. My favorite coffee is Blue Mountain. I like coffee even without cream or sugar. I just like the taste of actual coffee. Um, if I go a day or two without coffee, that the rebound headache triggers a migraine and I'm done. I'm out. I'm not a functioning person. I won't eat, I won't drink because like I don't want to move because I'm afraid to the pain is so real. So I do see a neurologist, I see an ENT, and I also see a therapist and a psychiatrist. So the psychiatrist and the ENT and the neurologist all work together. So I wasn't on like a bazillion pills, and some of the pills counteract with other ones. So I don't like they don't counteract. They help one all three things. But yes, you will hear me. I guarantee you by the end of this month, you're going to be like Shanova sounds nasally, and you when my voice starts going back to normal, it's going to throw you off because between March until the end of May, when all the cherry blossoms and tulips, ragweed, all that stuff comes up, I will be just congested. That's it. But if there's a smile on my face, that means I'm doing okay. But yes, me and my head are not best friends this week at all. But I'm better than I was 2 days ago, so I have no complaints. Yeah, cluster headaches are hard. My mom has cluster headaches. Yes, yeah, my it can get triggered from that. Mine's get triggered from like the pressure in the air. And where I live in Maryland, we have hurricane season. Hurricane season starts in June and ends in November. Every time we have like a tropical storm pressure in, I could tell you when a storm's coming in like 2 days beforehand because of my head. Like I feels like I have arthritis in my face, in my head. I'll be like, there's snow coming in. It was like just ask Shanova if something's coming in because I could feel it come in and it sucks. But it could be worse. And I always try to stay positive. I tell my kids this, it always could be worse. So just count your blessings of what you have now. Yes, it's inconvenient and it could be frustrating, but you're able to function. So that on itself keep it pushing and you count your good things and I'm very happy that I'm able to go to a neurologist. There's a lot of people that have migraines that can't go to one, so count your blessings, right? Today I'm going to still take it easy. I'm going to be actually I didn't get to go on Patreon yesterday because I just felt really just was not feeling really well. I'm going to go on Patreon after this, update everything on Patreon. Today I'm going to be filming this tomorrow, and I'm filming Kendall tonight. His job is just he by the time he gets home and he helps like with homework whatever, he's out. This poor man is out on the couch at like 8:39 like calling the hogs with the snores because his job is now it is further away. It's about an hour and a half. But the plus, it's the opposite way that the traffic goes. So like when he goes in and goes out, he's not dealing with like traffic because he works up in the mountain areas. So today when he comes home, before the kids go to bed, we're going to have the front room set up and I'm going to film the first part. And then I should be able to film the last part on Sunday so I can have that out to you guys probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week of waxing canvas. And I will be filming this Saturday so I can be out on either Wednesday or Thursday as well. I have half of it done. I am doing mine's Harry Potter. I wanted to make one before I taught one. This thing comes together brilliantly. This pattern comes in, there's a lot of components and it's very, very detail oriented in how you place the interfacing, because some areas have either like eight, can have 6 to 8, sometimes 10 layers of cotton. So I am being very cautious with that, with making sure that I follow exactly with it. I'm excited that it's cotton. I'm a sucker for a good wallet or a good clutch. So that I'm going to finish that up today, and I'm going to meet with one of my Patreon peoples. And after that, once I'm done with this wallet, I'm going to just tidy up the workroom and get things ready for Kindle's video. And then I should be doing some filming. I have a couple videos I'm going to film tomorrow. And I'm scouring the internet for different notions. For Nova's Notions, something unique and different. If you have any suggestions, or if you've seen stuff and you're like, hey, no one's mentioned this, I would like to know more, leave a comment. Yeah. And I'm also trying to figure out, I have my filming for next week. I don't think any of the kids there's no spring break or anything next week. So I have like a lot of videos planned to start filming next week so that March can be packed full with some cool stuff. I have some skill building videos and some just like little nuggets of information. I'm definitely going to be coming out with a Arbor Press note thing, because I have one, and I didn't know how to use it for like 6 months. It just stayed in its box, and I kept tripping over it because those Arbor Press are extremely heavy and they don't move if you walk over them. So I started using it recently, and I was like, holy heck, why didn't I use this sooner? And I'm really liking it. Yeah. Sorry, Gypsy. I know the feeling. It sucks. Yeah, I try to do all of hers. I want to do the terracotta bag, because that bag sells really well for me at Comic Cons, because it looks like a more classier lounge fly, if that makes sense. It just looks really classy, and that she gives you options of birthing it or binding. And you already know I'm gonna do binding. But yes, I'm so far loving this. I have everything interface. I started putting together the flap, and I'm doing it Harry Potter. So my biggest thing was I'm trying to find all the like the right zipper pulls and the right magnets, but it's super cute. I'm like really excited about that. I have a lot of bags I need to take photographs of. I did finish the Dorian modifications for Hope's bag. Oh my God. This one's so cool. All right. I wish I would have put something in here. But she didn't want the buckle. So I didn't think these will do really well with mesh around it. I thought it might rip and tear the mesh, so I didn't do it. But I made her like a Pokemon holder. So she put all her cards in it. And this is the jelly. So it's like see-through, so her cards won't get wet. And then when you get inside, I have a center divider pocket, 2 slip pockets, and a zipper pocket. And she has like all of her, she likes the Eevee evolutions. So she has one Eevee there and another one here. I have to get her some, I might have Kendall do some purple wax canvas today, because she wants her backpack to be all purple. I used a More Me Know tag right here. And look at this little video game thing. So like, she's really excited. So I'm going to be taking pictures of this with her, and then she can have it. She asked for a messenger bag and a backpack, so thank you. She's really excited about it. I'm really excited for her too. That's the bag that I cut my finger in. She's like, well, it's like, I'm not even gonna deal with you. I'm ordering, I'm going on Etsy today, because there's a couple patterns that I wanted to order. There's this designer that she's in Spain, and she does like the coolest cosplays, and she has fantastic patterns. So I'm trying to pick up 1 or 2 of those and then get them printed at the AO shop. That's how, you know what? I never realized that you can get your country cow patterns printed at the bigger shops too, so you don't have to cut and paste templates. I'm gonna let you know right now, I prefer that. I know cutting and pasting is good, but me and my printers. So I know the problem is me if it's multiple printers never work out. So like if I can get it printed, the guy is in Philadelphia. If I sent him this file today, it'll be out for delivery tomorrow. And it just makes $6. I understand that's a lot of money, but not cutting and pasting, having it on a little the paper that they do out there, you can choose like the weight and it could be a little bit thicker. I think it's pretty cool. I didn't know that she had that. And I test for her occasionally. I should know that. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. So that will be a video for next week. I'm also, what else am I doing? Oh, I got some of my lights. I bought some lights because I have ideas for some jelly lights. I have an idea for the Winchesters. There's a print where like it's Dean's hand and it's like blood red. So I was going to cut out the hand and have like red lights around his hand. I have that as an idea. Throwing it out there before it gets stuck. I also I have a couple just different ones. I thought I wanted an all rose gold and white bag for Princess Leia and have the Hope in like a rose gold lighting. So got a couple ideas that I want to bring to the con. So that's basically what I'm doing today is finishing up the Limousin and then cleaning, calls, and then picking up my kids because Fridays there's no after school. They have no after school program, so they all start trickling in around like between 2 and 3. So just hanging with them, watching something. Not The Mandalorian. I haven't watched it yet. That's how you know I have a headache. That I haven't like I won't watch it because I can't focus on everything because I like to observe like really, really well. And I know this sounds silly, but I have like a notepad by my desk, my nightstand, and I'll like write things. And this is how I start creating bags. Um, oh, I'm hoping to actually make my leather Wednesday bag. I have it earmarked for Thursday of next week just to do that. There's some really cool hardware from Alchemats that are coming out that is like the Wednesday emblem on a magnet and zipper pull, and I really want to make a black satchel, and I think I got everything drawn out to how I want it, and it's time to put it to test. It's not going to have any lining. It's going to just be an all leather bag. It's going to be mine, but if it works out well enough, then I could try to see if I can incorporate it to make it either for vinyl or cork or fabric, but I would need to like play around with it first. But because right now the way I kind of drew all my pattern pieces out, it's all raw edges and then edge coating. I'm not a pattern designer. I'm a modifier. So I can see some bags and I can start putting pattern pieces in my head based off of other bags. The board cloth, yeah, I've used it. The Fabric Wholesale Direct one. There's always this debate. If you're using it for bags, do you wash it? If you don't, even if you don't wash it, I'm not going to sit here and judge you. You just iron that on with the steam. And the only reason I would tell you to wash board cloth is sometimes it's heavily saturated with dye, and it can like rub off on your hands, or it could rub off on like the vinyl or cork that you're using, and it shrinks. Board cloth, I don't know why that one shrinks so much. It kind of reminds me, what is Joann's board cloth, country something? That shrinks so much compared to Kona. I have no idea why it shrinks so much, and the color fades faster in the country one too. I use it when I'm making mock-up bags to see what I want to change in a bag. And I've used it in bags, but I always steam it and steam it again just for good measure because the shrinkage in the board cloth is pretty freaking real. Like, and I don't know, the color catchers, you put Kona and you barely get any color, nothing transfers in the color catcher. You put those like the store brand version, your color catcher's like every shade of the rainbow, and you're like, what the hell? So that that's something to consider. um, but yeah, if you also are looking for cheaper quilting cotton, Connecting Thread. That is my like secret place that I buy cotton from, because they have a whole like they have their normal like designers, right? Like Quilt Candy and all that stuff like that. But if you go all the way down to their clearance section, when they clear out previous months, it's cheap. Like you can get some fabrics for like $2.96 a yard. Like this one I got literally in 2017. No joke. I had to look at my book, and I bought 4 yards, but I bought 4 yards for $2.50. And I use this on a lot of projects. There's like, it doesn't bleed. It's really good quality quilt cotton, and it's just easy to work with. And sometimes they have occasionally like Winnie the Pooh or This Is How Much I Love You, but they have really good just like foundation quilt cotton that you can stick into a inside of the bag and sometimes outside. And quilter Connecting Threads. And they also have a really good, their threads, they have 40 weight threads, like in every color of the rainbow, cotton and in polyester. And they have really cool notions. They ship pretty fast. That's like one of my favorite places to buy quilting cotton from. I used to get a lot from Nancy Notions, but then someone told me about Connecting Threads like in 2016, and every year on like when the seasons change, I go in there and look what they have on clearance, and you'll be surprised. And it's like really good quality, like very soft. All right, well, I am going to log off and start finishing up this clutch. I'm going to be using the tank foot to see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. If it doesn't, I'm going to definitely try it on my brother's to see if it works on that. And then I'll be able to tell you if it's good for a high shank or a low shank. I'm hearing mixed things. I seen in another group that someone got it and they put it on their brother's 1500, the straight stitch. That's like the equivalent to the Juki QVP Mini. And they said that it was like amazing. I have never bought anything from Hancock's. We don't have one out here. When they started closing down is when I moved to Maryland, and there's not one near me. I seen the building, but then they were no longer around. Yeah, I'm excited too, because I'm hoping it works for my Juki. Yeah, the tank foot is a foot. I had it. Oh, here it is. It's a foot that has like 2 feet. It's essentially like a walking foot. Like it just it's supposed to like go through many layers easier without having a hub jumper. I seen it in someone's group. I want to say I seen it in Bag Baddies yesterday. That Ravens group, that someone put this on their brother's 1500, or I'm not, the straight stitch one that's like a basically like a semi-industrial, and they said it was a game changer. But then I've had people tell me that it is not meant for a high shank machine, and I can see how they say it. They can say it, but it may not be. I'm not too sure. um I'm not too sure. So I ordered the table to my Juki 1341. So when that comes in and Kendall rotates my room around with me, I will do a video. I'll start doing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 tutorials on my 1550N, 1 tutorial on my 1541S, and then 1 tutorial on the free arm. So normally I give you guys a tutorial a week. I'm going to mix it up because I've had a lot of people in my inbox asking me, can I do a tutorial on the free arm? Because there's not a lot of people that do tutorials on the free arm, and I want to. I have never done it because of the simple fact that it's not a solid tutorial watching me. If I do the whole bag on my free arm, it's really hard to relate unless your domestic machine, you can remove the bed and you have a free arm. Then it makes sense to do it because it's basically the same principles. So I usually do 2 videos on my 1550 and 2 on my 1541S. So I'm just going to switch it up and put the free arm, so that way if you're a person that's looking to buy like a Texo, a Speedway, a Juki free arm, that you can see some tutorials on it and tips and tricks that I've learned. I am not a master by any means. That one is definitely a learning process, and I would recommend someone getting that one first with the table versus the 1541S, because they're essentially the same machine, except it's a free arm. I have a lot of machines. I have 4 industrials, the Juki 1550, 5550N, the Juki 1541S, the Juki 1341S, and a Skyver. Um, I forgot the name of my Skyver. And then I have a lot of domestics. I have a Rocketeer. I have my favorite domestic is my brother's, not my brother's, my Bernina 1008. I have a brother's sewing machine, the 3500 NQD, that's half sewing machine, and you can use it as an embroidery machine. I have a cover stitch and a serger. And I have another brother's machine floating around here that Kendall uses sometimes to hem his pants. I think it's like a Project Runway. That little thing's a beast. It's like older than one of my kids. I think it's older than Hope. And it just keeps going. And he has his grandmother's old sewing machine, but it's not functional at this time. So we just keep it and preserve it in a case. I don't use my domestic machines down in my workroom because there's no room for it. All my industrials have tables. So there's that. I have a lot of machines and I collected them all. Like when I started my bag business, I just had the brothers NQ 3500D and my Bernina. That's it. I I was on a marketplace and I seen that a woman's mother was moving to Florida and they had a Singer Rocketeer originally in this desk, and I bought it because one, the upstairs of my house is all shabby chic. That's like my motif. It's like modern shabby chic, and I thought, well, this is going to look really cool in my house, and I can use it. I use my domestic machines mostly upstairs when the kids are on summer school or spring break, and I'm trying to sew and be in the same room with them to be interactive. Um, there are a few tutorials I have in my YouTube world where I'm on either the Bernina or my brother's. So it all depends on what I'm doing and what I'm sewing. I have a lot of machines. Each machine I bought from different time. My first industrial was actually the 1541S from Juki. And it was after AwesomeCon, and I made the money and I paid for it. And then the next following year during KatsuCon, I paid for the Juki 5550N because I wanted something that was like a domestic machine, but I can make it for light clothes or like harder for bags by changing out the feed dogs. And then was it last year? No, the year before last, before all the COVID scare, my last convention, I did in Richmond, I was able to buy the 1341 because I'm a small business and I make my money from making bags and I like machines. And I'm a person that has everything. I just like machines, and that's what I buy to help my bag making. I just like a lot of machines too. I I don't think I can fit another industrial in this room though. Each machine does have a different thing, but each machine can make a bag. I've heard people saying that you can't sew 2 pieces of waterproof canvas on a 1541S. You guys, if you watch my tutorials, have seen me do that. So, I made the beast on both machines. I made the Orosa travel bag on the 1341S and the 5550N. The 5550N is very similar to the domestic, except the the motor's on the outside. That's it. Each machine, yeah, it has a little bit of difference. Um, it has a little bit of difference, but like with any machine, you just got to fill it out. And they each have I really did get the Juki 1351 for top stitching because I turn my bags inside out, as you guys know when you watch my tutorials. But then I start sewing with it, and it has a different stitch than my 1541S. Now I don't know if anyone else can attest to that, but there are different stitch, and I don't know. It I like the foot on that one better. I can't explain it. It just the way it feeds, it's so much smoother to me than any other machine, and I wanna show people how I use it. So, we're working on changing around the room so it's like a C, like a U thing, and then also putting, a camera on a track that can be just like a camera for aerial shots. It's really hard to get shots because if I do it from a side angle, then people can't see the whole bag. If I do it from an aerial, they can't see the stitching. It's really hard. I'm trying to find that sweet spot that hits everything, and it seems like I can't always find it. You can't well, if you have a 8700 or a 5550, you can. And I have sewn personally on my Juki 1541S with, like, Sew Fuse plus on cotton, 2 layers, and it didn't have any issues. I wouldn't say there's one. And that might go against the grain. When I was first buying my sewing machine, my regular sewing machines, I spoke to a very insightful person. Her name is Yulin. She's in Tops in Florida. She sells Jukis and Brothers and whatever. And she said something that has stuck to me like glue. To expect one machine to do it all is a foolish you're going to set yourself up for failure. And then Steve from Sewing Gold said the same thing. They all have their own things and their own purposes. I went when I my first industrial was the 1541S. I was going to get the 1181, but I really wanted a compound walking foot. Because I knew that I'm going to sew leathers, and then where I live, there's a lot of people that ride horses, and that I can tap into that market of like saddlebags and everything. I knew what I wanted. There was a little bit of a learning curve on this, but I felt like it was just like a more powerful Bernina. My second one was not the free arm, but the something that people have on every day. The 5550, and I feel like people are not understanding how amazing this machine is. One, you could change out the feed dog. So you could sew like chartreuse silks, satins, everything, which I usually do for my bonnets or inside my beanies. Then I could change out the feed dogs to a medium or heavy, or you can also get feed dogs that are Teflon, so you can do more slippery things. All you have to do is change the needle size and the feed dogs. And again, um, and if you did the sew along in Ora Rosa for the Beast, I was on my smaller domestic. I sewed through so many different layers, perfect stitching. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a really I think it's an amazing machine because the fact that you could do a lot more with it than the other ones. Then when I got the industrial one, I understand why people say if you're going to get an industrial for heavy duty sewing, go for a free arm because you can just add a table. That makes sense. I would recommend that, but I don't think one machine's better than the other. I think all machines have their own purpose, and it all depends on what you like. I would recommend you to talk to someone like Steve from Sewing Gold. Even if you don't buy anything, he's incredibly knowledgeable and he will help guide you into the right direction. Because if you're just planning on sewing like corks and like softer stuff, he will be able to tell you what machines he think will work for you. Um, Talk to a professional because the thing is that everyone in their back community is going to have a biased attitude because they love their machine. They're not going to be like, yeah, my machine sucks. Like, no, like a machine that is awesome that I got to play around with recently is a fabricator. That machine is amazing. And Joe from Country Cow, she sews on it. It's actually Adam's machine, but she sews on it too. So I would recommend you calling Cellrite and different industrial people and get different opinions. Yeah, that's exactly what Jenny says. If you're doing it, if this is just for like, no, you know what? Even if this is not a side hustle or a job for you and it's just a hobby, it's like someone getting a motorcycle. Get what you like. If you got the room, go for it. A hobby is a good thing to have. I'm sorry, and we get toys with hobbies. You know how much people pay for like a original Beanie Boo or original Barbie or a motorcycle or a baseball card? Do you? No, don't let anyone judge you. Do you get what makes you happy? A free arm is cool. I'm definitely gonna do some videos on it. But the first thing I did though before I never did a video because I usually like I could sew a whole bag without the table, but it took time. It took many moons and many frustrations and me wanting to Hulk smash and toss that up in the air so many times. So many times. But it gets easier. I did get a table and I'm pretty excited because I got it from something relic. Something relic. They're on Etsy and they have that table comes with like I'm pretty good at straps, but the fact that it has like like it has like a guide for straps. And I'm like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." So, and then I got the table underneath where you could put your magnetic bowl with your clips or chips. So, I'm excited about that. We'll review that for you. And I also she also had, some templates that were pretty cool, like, adding seam allowance templates and rolled handles. Yep, it's kinda like driving a stick. It's li and for the people out there that have never drove a stick, drive a stick. If there's some kind of weird apocalypse, just saying. Just um, you have to practice. Practice makes progression. I told even in Monica's class in So Magical when she was teaching skiving, I skive. I have messed up some leather and I have learned and I'm continuously learning. Like Monica's a pro. Like she'll skive something, it'll have that perfect seam allowance. I skive and it looks like someone was playing with the razor blade and missed a whole bunch of stuff. So it's a it's a constant practicing. But then I have people asking me like, why are you able to just like free motion on your 1541? And it's because I'm in sync with this machine. Like me and Dracarys are like I know when something's wrong with her. I know I don't know. I'm in sync with her. I'm in sync with the 5550 too. Like I can that machine in me, I can free motion quilt on it. I there's so much I could do with that machine because I understand I can feel the movement. I'm not 100% like that with my free arm. It could be because of the location I have to move stuff, but it's a bigger machine, so I'm a little bit intimidated by it. Like just like when we see huge bags, we're like, okay, can I do this? This bag is massive. And you can. It just gotta practice. I know. I miss driving a stick too. I learned how to drive a stick in a graveyard. It was really fun. It might be. There's some I'm telling you, I'm gonna do a video when that table comes in. I'm gonna show you the stitches. Me and Dracarys, 1541, we're like this. But Tano, yeah, Tano. Tano stitches I cannot explain it. It looks so different. I don't know what it is. It's not they have the same needle, they have the same thread. The stitches just look different. Just like I told you, I like Bernina stitches and I like the Rocketeers because the Rocketeer kind of goes like at a weird slant. I I'm one of those people that notice stitches and there's something whenever I top stitch and I do one of my armor pieces and I do it on Tano, everyone's like, "Oh my god, your stitches." And I think it's the machine. Yeah. It was a complicated story with a graveyard. The person said that I couldn't kill anyone because everyone was dead. Alas, I did learn how to drive a stick. Practice makes progression. Like a lot. I practice a lot. A lot. I even before I even do a tutorial, I do like a quilt sandwich on every single bag to make sure that the tension is right on all machines. Um, tension can be off just because of how the bobbin was wound, the weight of the bobbin or the weight of the top thread. It could be a million different things. So I always do like a quilt sandwich, and I feel like that's really, really important to do, because you don't know. I always like to do it with the thickest piece that I know my machine's going to sew through and the thinnest, because your stitches may look amazing if you have 4 or 5 layers, but look like wonky and crappy if it's 2. Yeah, a graveyard. So, it was an interesting time. It was very I I also I also learned how to drive a forklift, and it was purely I was not supposed to be driving a forklift at Best Buy because I was dating someone and I didn't know how to do it, and he was a forklift. Good times. um, Only thing I've always wanted to learn how to fly a plane, but my dad's like hard passion over. So that is something that I've always wanted to learn. That's one weird bucket list I have, is that or a helicopter. Just one of those. I had played a lot of air simulation games when I was younger, then I stopped as I had kids. I don't know. I just felt like I would be a really cool flight attendant. I thought it would be funny. Like, um, I don't know. I thought it would be good. And then I always had this imagination. I had this like weird nightmare fantasy. Yeah, 2 things in one. That I was like this flight attendant, and I was like 20, and I took all these flight simulation classes, and the plane goes down because the pilot got knocked out, but somehow I rescued everybody because of my flight simulation classes. Again, I'm going to stress I was 19 though. Okay. I know. I Forklifting is like literally fun. I had a blast doing it. I can see how people can get injured really fast. But I had a lot of fun. Oh, Teresa, you're just becoming goals more and more every day. Yes, I don't know why. It was during Black Friday too. It was during Black Friday. No one was paying attention. No one was paying attention. He was like, "Do you want to learn? Because we need to move these boxes, and I need another driver." I was like, "Oh my god, yes!" That's how I learned it. I also briefly, like only for a mile, drove a regular like 18 wheeler. I wasn't supposed to do that either. To be 19 again. So, oh yeah, I used to take I well when I went to Hawaii, I got on a couple of helicopter things, and then in California they would have it, but I actually wanted to fly a plane, but my dad was like super against it. I thought it would be really good because I'm really detail orientated, and I'm like hyper focused. Like if you it's weird sewing and talking to you guys, because like if you talk to my husband or Monica or whatever, they'll be like, Shanoa's super quiet when she sews. Like, because I'm super focused on whatever I'm doing. Oh my God. Okay, so look. Also, 19, summer job was golf, being a gopher, using a golf cart and taking drinks back and forth. When the resort was closed, we would have golf cart wars. Would freak out if this was my kid, right? Because Faith is going to be 18 in November. We used to do some stupid stuff, but it was fun. It was golf cart. I did a lot of weird things. I was a lifeguard for 2 summers. Um, and I tried to do the Baywatch run, and I fell 4 times. And I ate sand, like literally a mouthful of sand. I can't run like Baywatch. I tried so hard because it was like, I want to be like Pamela Anderson or Karma Electric. No. And my bathing suit did not fit like theirs either. I digress. But yes, I did a lot of stuff. I wasn't afraid as a kid. I like to try different things. And I kind of think that works really well with sewing because I'm not afraid of trying new things. Oh my God, yeah. If Faith did like, cause okay, so with golf cart wars, when the when the resort and the golf area was closed off, we would have one person drive, the other person balance a tray with one golf club, and you're trying to knock the other person's tray off the two people in the back. Not my finest moment, I know. I was 19. I did a lot of zip lining. I like bungee jumping. I did a lot. I think maybe I'm an adrenaline junkie and I don't know it because I don't know. My best thing is I think I don't allow fear to stop me. I'm afraid of flying. I don't like flying. Who's like, oh yeah, turbulence is so much fun? No one ever. And if you did get off the plane, that person's weird. Okay. So, but I don't try to allow fear to stop me. And that's the one thing I try to tell my kids. Don't do something because you're afraid. Then it's just nothing but regret. Yeah, I did some stupid stuff. From 19 to 25, I don't know how I'm alive. Because also around this time, Fast and Furious came out. And if you live in California, you know where Glamis is. You know where it is. And if you were around that time, then you probably know who I am. I love driving dirt bikes, motorcycles, everything. Did not get my motorcycle. I wanted to drive one back and forth, but my dad said no. My dad used to drive motorcycles and stuff like that too. So I think I definitely have a lot more of him in me than I claim. Yeah. Yeah. I do. Okay, so there's a compromise. Like if I fly somewhere, my Kendall has to find me a flight that is the full flight. There's no connecting flights. I going up once and down is enough for me until like the next couple days, then I go. But if I have to do connecting flights, I'm gonna check it out somewhere. I already know. Especially like airports like Orlando. I've never been to Orlando's airport before, and before so magical. First of all, the staff wasn't there, was like, I don't want to say not friendly, but just like a matter of fact. I'm like, hey, I don't know where to get to this tunnel. And they're like, yeah, over there. And you're like, you just pointed just like in a general direction behind you. All right, sir, thank you. I'm used to flying into airports like Vegas or LAX or whatever, where it's not, I don't know. There's something about Orlando's airport, like, totally freaked me out. Nonstop flights, right? I could do it if it's nonstop. But if it's like, oh, we're going back down in 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm not going back up. I'm just going to take the Greyhound, I guess. So, my first car was wait, hold on. Oh, I got the first Ford Focus. Yeah. There were so many recalls on that car. Like, I don't know how I'm alive. There were so many recalls on that car. Hey, baby. Yeah, the Ford Focus was horrible. Then I had a Pontiac Grand Am. Oh my God, I love that. Lily was amazing. She was a tank. Oh, yeah, Kindle's here. He's 2 comments up. Yeah. Ooh, motorcycle. Yeah, I rode on a Ducati. Of course, a lot of Harleys and a lot of dirt bikes. A lot. Yeah, Kendall is pretty amazing. He's gonna be doing you guys' wax canvas video. What? Okay, we have everything for it too now. So, and he doesn't work weekends, so he can just like chill and be relaxed and do it. Yeah. So your car is old, but the car I'm driving right now, they don't make anymore. Like the manufacturer doesn't exist. I ride in a Mitsubishi Diamante. I love and hate that car. I love it because I have a car that's paid off. I hate it because it feels like I'm like Fred Stone Flint's, like it's like your butt is in the ground. super low. Like 16 to 25-year-old Nova would have flipped out over that car though. Yeah, Loki. Oh yeah, whatever that plastic cup you had with the blue lid, after I dropped off Kendall, it was destroyed. It became Loki's property. My baby. He's asleep. He's not dragging any toys around. So yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing today. Clutch, meeting with Patreon Pete, and I think that's it. It's better. It's better than yesterday, definitely better than ever. It's still there. I can feel the echo, and I still feel like not like 100%, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I think my headache's like a 4, and that's really doable because I could pop a couple Tylenol and keep moving. Yeah, you shouldn't have left the cup out, and you would have been fine. I don't know, like, you can't leave anything out with Loki. He doesn't go after it when everyone or anyone's home. It's when we leave, it's like he gets mad that we didn't take him, and he's like, "Well, guess what?" So, yeah, I'm hoping that with drinking tons of fluids and I've been taking magnesium, and I'm hoping when I drink tons of fluids and having some tea and stuff like that, that my electrolytes everything will get balanced out and I will feel better. And then maybe I could watch Mandalorian. It's the fact that I haven't watched it, and I have siblings that want to ruin it. They're in my inbox. Did you see? Oh my God. I'm like, I'm not reading your message until I watch it. It's the big tall one that had a blue lid. It was like a big cup. I'm excited to see it because I want to see more about the dark saber. I own the dark saber. And as soon as I get my stands, there's like this guy from Etsy that makes them. I'm gonna have my sabers like all over the house. I mean, all over my room, as well as my wands when my husband puts my wand holders up. Kindle. Sorry, I had wand holders. Yeah. So I definitely want to see it. I also got to start. I haven't finished. I watched first season of Carnival Row, and I haven't seen the second season yet. It's like three episodes in, and I want to see that. Anything with fairies, I'm all about. This whole time. Yeah, I got that the minute they showed the black saber, I was like, my friend was like, I'm going to Disney World. Do. Here's the money. I need the black saber things. I want them to come out with the Third Sisters, but there was not enough crowdfunding for it, so I'm really, really disappointed because her lightsaber was amazing. Which one? Not a Starbucks cup. It's that ginormous, like I think you could have put a cotton candy it's the biggest cup I've ever seen. It has holes in it now, so it's no longer a cup. But maybe you can upcycle it to a plant holder and like ideas. I don't know. All right, everyone. I hope everyone has a really good Friday. I hope you're able to get some sewing in today. If not, I hope you get to spend time with your friends, family, or just alone time. And everyone stay. No, I don't know who they are, but I may look them up. Well, I didn't. Ken or you should have put the cup up. Okay, so I can't control if I'm not here. It would be cool to have the ring and have a camera, right? So if I can look at him and be like, no, Loki, no. And then he's like, where the hell is mom? All right, everyone. It was nice seeing everyone, and you got to be part of our interactive conversation about cups. I hope everyone has a good day, okay? Stay safe. Bye.